Okay, here goes. The following is a statement from my legal team. On Sunday, June the 26th, at approximately 1300 BST, a satirical video was shared online by comedian Ross Mains. The video, which has now racked up well over 180,000 views, not including reposts, is set to Disney classic Under the Sea and tells the story of the feel-good factor at Celtic right now, with events taking place outside the fictional Parkers. Regrettably, our client Hamish features in the video, which has received widespread criticism against his will. He is seen uttering the words "Mon is Celtic" alongside other well-known figures from the Celtic fan media community. Hamish has no further comment to make at this time, but we can confirm that we are investigating the matter fully. Statement ends. Okay, sorry we had to start with that, but needs must. Celtic are back. We have come back to pre-season training. Day one was today, so let's have a little bit of a look at what went down today. There is so much news coming out today to do with different things at the club that this is going to be a jam-packed video. Apologies, we're a little bit late today. Just wanted to get my ducks in a row before going on to this video. First of all, as we say, Celtic are back. 6 weeks since Trophy Day, just over 6 weeks actually. We're just under 5 weeks from our first competitive match of next season, which will be Flag Day at home to Aberdeen. So it was day one of pre-season training today, and plenty of content coming out from the club on their official social media channels. Sadly, no mention of Jota or Bernabé at this stage, although knowing my luck, the minute this video goes up, the two of them will probably be announced and I'll look like a bit of a dafty, not for the first time, but certainly no mention at this stage, although we still believe that both deals are imminent. I have a funny feeling that Bernabé may be announced later tonight, but I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. One person who is definitely at Lennoxtown is Harry Kewell. He was photographed by the club earlier on today, chatting to Ange Postecoglou in an image that will make Aussies very, very happy. We've also seen the likes of Liam Shaw, Asaze Urhoghide, Bosun Lawal, Yosuke Ideguchi, James McCarthy, James Forrest and Reo Hatate all in training today. Celtic posted a short video of the players going through training and doing the dreaded bleep test. And I know from my days as an aspiring footballer well over a decade ago now that the bleep test is pretty difficult at any stage, but certainly in first day of pre-season training. Basically, it's a series of bleeps, and between the bleeps, you have to get from one side to the other. So bleep, you have to get there by the next bleep, and then the following bleep after that is your return journey. And as time goes on, the intervals between the bleeps get shorter and shorter, so you have to run quicker and quicker while you're getting tireder and tireder. So that's what the players were going through today. Not too many of them there actually. From the video, it looked to be 12 outfielders in training today. All players who didn't feature for their countries in the recent international. It seems like those who did play for their countries have been given an extended break. They'll probably return into training later this week, certainly in time for the team travelling to Austria a week today. I didn't see Ismaila Soro or Albion Ayeti in any of the photos or footage that the club posted. Make of that what you want. Chris Julian was there. There were plenty of keepers involved as well. Joe Hart was there, Ben Siegrist, Scott Bain, Toby Oluwayemi and even Ross Doohan all there. So plenty of keepers in action today. And as I say, the rest of the squad will join up with the team at some stage. I would say probably at the end of this week. In terms of that trip to Austria, we now know our full pre-season lineup after Austrian side SC Wiener Victoria confirmed that they will be the team who are playing us in our opener on July the 6th. That was the missing link, so this is now what awaits us in pre-season, with the first 3 of those matches on our Austrian/Czech tour against Victoria, Rapid and Baník Ostrava, all on Celtic TV. And the final 3 at home to Blackburn Rovers, away to Legia Warsaw for good old Arthur, and home to Norwich City, all on Premier Sports as well as Celtic TV. The first match against SC Wiener Victoria will be played not at their stadium but at the home of SV Bad Erlich, near where Celtic are training for 10 days. It will kick off at 6:30pm local time, which is 5:30 Celtic Park time, 2:30 in the morning in Sydney or Melbourne, or 6:30 in Benalmádena, Spain, where I may or may not be watching the game with a few beers. Elsewhere in dates for your diary, announced today has been Sky Sports picks for the early portion of the season, the first, I think, 6 match weeks. We already knew that our opener, Flag Day against Aberdeen, would be on TV on Sunday the 31st of July with the kind of strange, very strange 4:30pm kickoff. Our following week's game against Ross County away from home hasn't been selected for live television due to the Edinburgh Derby happening that weekend. Sky have opted for that instead, meaning that the game against Ross County will be played on Saturday the 6th of August at 3pm. Great news for fans with a ticket. They're going to maybe have to get up at 8am rather than 5am. So a wee bit of a lie-in for them. Not great for anyone who doesn't have a ticket, given that we do understand that pay-per-view isn't going to be a thing next year. So it seems like if you don't have a ticket for the match, you may struggle to see the game legally. You may have to turn to nefarious methods to see that match, and of course no one wants to see that at all. Moving on, and our away games at Kilmarnock and Dundee United after that are thankfully on television, both scheduled for the respective Sundays of those weeks at noon. The first derby of the season is on Saturday the 3rd of September with a 12:30 kickoff. Again, an extra half an hour lie in there to what we're used to and for recent derbies. The reason that it's a Saturday, not a Sunday, is that the midweek following that fixture is a European fixture card. Obviously, we're in the Champions League. Rangers could be there as well. There's a real possibility of a Tuesday night fixture, so the Sunday is unworkable. The first derby of the season on a Saturday lunchtime at Celtic Park in September, definitely reminding me of 2016-2017, the Demolition Derby, the 5-1 game and all of that stuff. A repeat would be absolutely lovely. And just a final note, that Hearts game is down for the Saturday at the moment. It's not been chosen for television, but it will almost certainly be played on the Sunday, and that's for once not down to us, it's down to Hearts, who have their first leg of their Europa League playoff on the Thursday night before that fixture. So that game will be the Sunday almost certainly, and Hearts will be hopefully knackered going into that game at Celtic Park. Moving on, away from chat about fixtures and all that kind of stuff, on to bad news. Bad news for all of our wallets collectively, because Celtic have released new training gear for the new season to the public to pre-order ahead of the actual release on July the 7th, and they have sent 67, hail, some footage to use. You've got hoodies, you've got zip-ups, proper winter jackets, all seemingly in that same shade of green. Whoa, stop that there. Yes, that hoodie is absolutely getting bought very, very soon. That's an absolute cracker. All in all, I'm not totally sold on the shield surrounding the badge. I think it worked great on the away kit, but not a huge fan of it on absolutely everything. But yeah, I have a birthday in July, so at least that means that it's not going to be my money directly being spent on this gear. But if you see me starting rocking up with various new pieces of Celtic apparel, then that's what is going on there. I've already bought the away kit. I think I was wearing it the other day for the Insight video on Alexandro Bernabeu. and I will certainly be buying some more bits of training gear in the coming weeks. I know Stevie, who's kind of the main guy that's just obsessed with training gear, he actually wears Celtic gear to work, and he doesn't even work to do with Celtic at all. I think he's in his final warning now because he just keeps wearing Celtic gear into his office job, and it's really getting on his boss's nerves, I think. But he's the guy to go to for this stuff, and he's not totally in love with the training gear. I don't think he's a fan of the shield on the badge, but I'm sure he'll come round and probably still spend his entire wage on Celtic gear, and you'll get to see it all on the channel. Stevie will be back very soon. We gave him the summer off. Same goes for Asim as well, so plenty more to come from those guys. Moving on, and elsewhere, Sky Sports yesterday linked Josip Juranovic with a move to Atletico Madrid this summer, and I'll now be giving this story the amount of time that I feel it has justified. And moving on, Reo Hatate bumped into Shunsuke Nakamura over the course of the weekend and got these amazing photos, which I'm sure will make you very, very happy inside. I just absolutely loved Naka. What a player. He was celebrating his birthday a few days ago, actually, so there was plenty of clips going around of him. Probably and this is going to hopefully make a lot of you feel very, very old and make me seem much younger than I am. First had a season ticket in 2005, went along with my dad for years and years, and Nakamura, I think maybe my second game on the season ticket. I think my first game was Artmedia Bratislava, the 4-0 win that we still went out of Europe somehow, or out of the Champions League. My second game was Dundee United in the league, Nakamura's debut, and I think from that point I just absolutely fell in love with him. He was great that day. He gave us so many moments, from that point onwards in the 4 years he spent at the club. For me, the player who, I'm not going to say anything like he made me fall in love with Celtic, because I loved Celtic even before that point, before he signed, but he was the first player I fell in love with wearing Celtic's colours. He was my first real hero. Didn't really get to see Larsson, Moravcik, etc. Certainly not consistently with season ticket, just the one-off games here and there. But Nakamura was amazing. And I could honestly spend the next 20 minutes giving you all my amazing Naka memories. Maybe we'll do that at some stage in the future. But I think great as well for someone like Reo Hatate to have this role model in Nakamura. I mean, they called him, I think, the David Beckham of Japan, or maybe even of Asia, with regards to the appeal he held and how well known he was. His face was on every billboard, every advertisement. He was huge with Adidas, and Hatate has this guy who's not just done it, but has done it at the club he's playing for at the moment. It must be great for Hatate. Great to see him back in training as well today, and hopefully he can get to the level of Nakamura. I know he's a different kind of player, and you don't want to make too many comparisons just because they're both Japanese, but there's a real kind of level there for Hatate to strive for. So very excited to see what he could offer us this season. Elsewhere, it is shaping up to be a busy week at Celtic. Celtic's remaining players will be back in training later this week. Alexandro Bernabé will be announced imminently, as I've already said. I would think tonight. That's my hunch anyway. If not, surely tomorrow, because you'd want him in training, and Celtic can't be taking photos of training and just like not having Bernabé in it at all. So I would certainly expect to see him announced soon. Hopefully Jota not too far behind either. In terms of other transfer stuff, there's not a great deal happening really. One thing I did want to mention was a report that came out yesterday from journalist Scott Burns saying that Celtic do indeed want to sign another striker this summer, and that we are, quote, well down the road in terms of that process. No names have been mentioned in this article from Burns, but it does seem like this is something that Ange sees as a real priority. He doesn't just, want to maybe bring in a striker if one becomes available. He really wants to bring in someone to complement Kyogo and Giakoumakis. And yeah, a third option would be great. Ideally someone who could come in right away and make an impact. Probably not going to start too many games when you look at the quality of those two other strikers, but I think a third option would be great, even more so if Albion Ajeti is moved on. We may take a look at this later in the week in terms of the kind of profile of a player Celtic could look at for this third striker. So leave that one with us. But yeah, it's going to be one of those periods, I think, when there's just loads of news coming out of the club, whether it's exclusive interviews, transfer news, fixture updates, all of that stuff. It's all just kind of coming out at weird times. So going to try and get this video edited and online as quickly as possible, because there'll probably be about 10 big stories breaking by the time I do. Just as well we're here, really, and we're going to be here tomorrow as well, no doubt covering some more news stories, hopefully a wee new signing and the odd transfer rumour as well. Don't forget to subscribe. I think we're still, I'm just doing this live, I think we're still trying to get to 31. We are at the moment 30 subscribers away from 31,000. Let's get that over the line tonight, and then we can push forward. Speak to you tomorrow.